Alright, game number 4 coming up between QXC and NightEnd. Loading screen has begun. It's time! Game 4, will QXC take it?
You have a very good chance of taking it, man.
Dog, I had a flow going with the music. You know, the music was kind of getting to its hype moment.
Yeah.
And then you just ruined it, man.
I gotta make my presence, man. I gotta get in there.
Gosh dang. What are we gonna do with him, guys? What are we gonna do with him?
Let's do a redo, okay? Let me tell the players.
No, it's too late. It's gone. We'll have to hope
NightEnd.
We'll have to hope NightEnd wins this game so we can get another shot at that. I was really excited. No, I'm just kidding, man.
Let's go ahead and introduce our players, though. We are playing here on MLG Metropolis, guys. QXC currently up 3-0 against Fnatic's NightEnd. A little bit of a surprise, to be honest. I thought NightEnd might actually be able to put up a little better of a fight, but he just woke up recently, so maybe that's kind of playing not in his favor, but in the right position here. Playing the red Protoss, we do have Fnatic Raid Call NightEnd, and in the 6 o'clock-ish position, playing as the purple Terran, we do have Complexity QXC.
PVT, QXC, one away, man. One away. I was, you know, I read through the forums, I read through Team Liquid, I read through Reddit. I read through the Team Liquid thread about this show match, and everyone's like, wow, NightEnd is gonna smash him. QXC has no chance. Guess what, though? QXC, he's not in school anymore, man. I like keep emphasizing that because I think people underestimate how much time school actually takes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can relate as a you know, a guy who's attempting to cast. I'm a full-time student. It's hard enough for me. I can't imagine the difficulty it is for the pro players who are trying to stay full-time in school. But QXC is graduated, so look out for this guy, in my opinion. NightEnd, he has a lot of work to do, man, but I think he can come back. He's the type of player that can definitely come back. He can win 4 in a row here and take the series.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all if NightEnd does start a comeback. QXC sort of has to have a little bit more confidence, though, coming into this match. Knowing he's up 3-0, all he really has to do is take another game off of NightEnd, and he's going to win. But just as you said, NightEnd is not a man to be scared. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to take this game. He did pick Metropolis at his loser picks, guys. So maybe he has something planned again. I think the one-base Colossus might have been planned, even though his expansion was taken. Maybe it wasn't. I'm not really too sure. Okay. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the opening so far from our players. It looks like NightEnd is opening up extremely standard with his gateway. We do see the cybernetics core almost nearing completion. Second gas, interesting decision again from NightEnd, getting a very early second gas. A lot of Protoss players are doing this, actually. Probably mainly for sentries early on, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's like obviously it's a little bit better than 3 probes in gas, so your gas income is going to be a tad bit better. And yeah, it's either I think it's either for, you know, the faster tech, like going into fast Colossi after expanding, or again for the faster sentries. But look at this, QXC being very annoying, planting down an engineering van at his opponent's natural expansion, preventing NightEnd from being able to take that expansion unless it's on QXC's terms. QXC taking an expansion of his own, adding on double gas, pretty standard play from him thus far. But it's pretty annoying, man. Getting your expo denied at this point in the game, it's no fun. So now NightEnd get to return to his natural and start pecking away at that engineering base so he can actually put down his natural.
QXC getting a very early 2 gas. I'm curious to see exactly what kind of tech he's gonna go for. Okay, a factory is on its way, so this actually might be another Hellion opening from QXC, given the fact he isn't going to be on 2 refineries. It's going to be a factory and a barracks. We are seeing also a reactor onto the barracks, so this very well may be additional Hellion play from the Terran player. The expansion is now finished for QXC. NightEnd opening up with a very standard 1 gate expand into 2 gateways. Is he going to get a robo soon? Time will tell. But at this point, both players are expanding. NightEnd going to try to poke around the map with the Stalker. QXC right on top of it. NightEnd, do not lose a Stalker so early on. Almost going down.
That positioning.
NightEnd looks like he will retreat.
So cool. You see how he's positioning himself at the top of the ramp there?
Yeah.
Really cool. Go ahead.
But yeah, Hellions again. Hellions are good. QXC knows how to use them pretty well.
Yeah, that factory's like a long way away from that barracks. Okay, so it's pretty on, okay, so this could be Banshees.
It's Banshees. Okay.
Yeah, I mean the factory was a decent distance away from the barracks, so I was like, maybe. Why would he put it so far away? So yeah, this is gonna be Banshees. The question is he gonna get cloaked with it? And I think there's a good possibility. you know, a lot of people talk about the strength of the 1-1-1 from the Terran player. And I've said it for a long time. I'm like, the moment Terran players start using Cloak Banshees, rather than in the early game, in the mid to late game, that's when things are going to get pretty scary for the Protoss. At least for me as a Protoss player. You know, if I scout a fast expand, I'm not necessarily going to be thinking about, you know, any type of Cloak Banshee play. But we'll have to see how effective this is from QXC. And there he is. He's starting Cloak, and a Banshee will start as soon as he can. There it is. So we'll have to see if NightEnd is prepared for this. The good news for him is he got a Robo really fast, and he has an Observer on the way. So I feel like NightEnd is coming on, is on the better end of a build order right now.
Yeah, and it's crucial that NightEnd got a robotics facility rather quickly, because with these positions that QXC and NightEnd are put in, it's good that QXC is getting Banshees. They're not going to take so long to go ahead and get into your main base. Banshees do pretty good against probes and do significant economic damage if he's able to get in there. But Cloak is on its way, as you said, adding additional barracks here in the main of QXC, and the Observer is actually going to make its way into the main. It's going to scout basically everything. He sees the starport. He sees the Cloak even being upgraded. I hope he does. And Colossus on the way, so NightEnd really favors this Colossus play in PBT. We haven't really seen a lot of early Storm opening or any kind of Charge Lot Blink opening from NightEnd, which is, I'm not going to say surprising, but maybe that might work a little bit better in his favor. He's going to get a Forge. Banshee now is out for QXC, making its way across the map. And at this point, NightEnd is, I think he sees it. He should be fine against this.
This is good. I think this is good for NightEnd. You know, he saw, it's not like the Banshee appeared in his mineral line, started attacking, and then cloaked, and that's like the first he knows about it. No. He had an Observer in his opponent's base, saw the Cloak researching, saw the Banshees in production. So he has an Observer at his mineral line. Guess what, the Banshee's going to Cloak? Oh well, I have Stalkers and I'm going to take it down. And now we're in a situation where QXC, he invested a lot into this tech. He invested a lot in the Cloak, a lot into these Banshees, and they have not come close to paying for themselves. So this gives NightEnd a timing to feel safe. It gives him a timing of safety. He can either use this to go for a push a little bit, you know, pretty soon, or he can tech up a little bit, get some upgrades, and, you know, start gradually adding probes and maybe start thinking about taking a third.
Yeah, and NightEnd is getting a few upgrades of his own right now. He is going to get armor for his Torch. He's also going to get the charge for the Zealots. And supply advantage right now, a little bit in the favor of QXC, not really a huge advantage. 93 supply to 89 Harvester advantage. It's going to be in the favor of NightEnd. 53 probes to 48 SCVs. And the composition of QXC looks to be mainly Marines, a few Marauders mixed in, and Banshees. And he's now going to float on the starport to the reactor. So we're going to see medevacs here make their way onto the map very soon for QXC. And overall, NightEnd is going for a very good unit composition. Charge is going to play a lot in the engagement with the Colossus. Charge lot, Colossus are very good. But QXC is still putting on damage, man, with the Banshee, making its way into the natural, trying to do additional damage to these units, picking off his few sentries if possible. Stim on the way, and thus far in the game, it seems both players are kind of mutually respecting each other. Going to try to take a third is NightEnd. QXC also taking the third. And yeah, that's pretty much the stage of this game right now.
Yeah, QXC has his play lead right now, 115 to 102, but NightEnd has the hefty tech that is the Colossus. Banshee's still trying to do damage here from QXC again, trying to pay for the investment he put into it. And NightEnd took down the rocks towards his third. That may, you know, encourage him. That may, you know, get us to think that he's actually going to take that pretty soon. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Researching. He just finished charge, now starting Blink. He's also researched +1 ground armor. So I'm wondering who's going to be the first one to instigate some sort of push, some sort of pressure. But NightEnd right now just trying to focus on preventing additional damage from those Cloaked Banshees.
Yeah, and I like the Banshee positioning here at the third expansion from QXC. Once NightEnd establishes it, or even thinks about taking a third, he's immediately going to react. In fact, his third is already completed. All he has to do is really float it over. Actually, almost completed for QXC. But upgrades are on the way. We do see Blink being started for NightEnd, Thermal Lance for the Colossus, armor on the way as well for the Gateway units, additional Colossus in production. And this is sort of what haunted NightEnd in the previous games. His tech transition into Storm, or into Archons, was pretty late. He seems to rely very heavily here on his Colossus play, which might not be so good against what QXC is doing. Actually, there's no Vikings on the map for QXC, so this actually might work, given the fact that QXC really does delay Vikings in CVP. But supply advantage in the favor of QXC, 149 to 131 of NightEnd, and there is a drop.
Oh, there is?
I think I saw a drop.
I think he's about like he's scanned above his army. And
Oh no,
usually,
there's no drop.
Usually as a Terran, when you scan above your army, you're getting rid of the observer, so you can start loading up those medevacs and go for some, that drop harassment.
I thought the Banshee was a drop.
Oh yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. But it looks like QXC gonna march outside of his natural expansion, and you said it, man. No Vikings. Again, he's relying on just pure mass bio. He's going to rely on his micro, his ability to target down the Colossi, his ability to spread out his units to minimize the splash damage from those Colossi, and his ability to spread out his opponent across all the expansions. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he lifted off a couple medevacs, sent one to the third, sent one to the main. There's a lot of airspace on this map. However, you talked about High Templars earlier. High Templar Archives is almost done, so NightEnd will be able to morph in a bunch of those and make them into Archons, or save 1 or 2 for feedback.
Yeah, QXC actually getting ready to load into the medevacs. There's a bunch of units into these medevacs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 medevacs here for QXC. And yeah, as you said it, man, Storm is going to be here very soon. It looks like the Templar Archives has it completed. I don't think has it completed?
Yes,
Where's the Templar Archives? Okay, yeah, it's completed. So he needs to start Storm as quickly as possible. But QXC, this is the power of QXC's play. He is able to be aggressive more than one place. Looks like NightEnd trying to engage into the armor of QXC does trap a few of these bio units. But there is so many units into this drop. NightEnd is on top of it. He sees this. He's selecting his units. There we go. He's finally going to be attacked into it. And QXC dropping all of his bio units again. Upgrades are still in the favor. Actually, 1-1 for QXC, 2-1, 2-0 for NightEnd. NightEnd actually might just be able to clear it up because there's actually not even a single Viking here for QXC. Moving forward again, going to focus down. Blinking forward, trying to focus down some of these medevacs. The Nexus goes down. That's a good victory for QXC, but you lost a lot of units there.
QXC going into the natural third of his opponent with a Marine and Marauder, forced a lot of zealots being warped in. Will that be enough to hold this off? No, it won't. And now QXC should either target down the probes or the Nexus, try to get some economic damage done to make this worth it. Targeting down the cannon for now targeting down those probes. Meanwhile, NightEnd trying to split up his army efficiently because he knows that drop is still lurking outside of his main base and wants to prevent that from doing any more damage. But keep in mind, QXC behind this has a third. He's up to 64 harvesters. His opponent only at 50 harvesters. QXC now adding on 4 Vikings at a time, dropping again in the main base of his opponent.
Yeah, there's a few Templars here being warped in for NightEnd, so he's going to be able to mix that into his composition. Storm is just going to get started. He's going to get an additional Observer, knowing that he has no kind of detection against his Cloak Banshee. A little bit of a problem here for NightEnd. The Banshee's actually doing a lot of damage. But again, the drop coming into the main. QXC is just everywhere, man. Yeah. The medevacs are just such an annoyance right now for NightEnd, not able to pick them off. And these drops are going to be a little bit hazardous.
The main Nexus? Did we see that?
Yeah, when he dropped all of his units,
right,
he just focused on the Nexus.
I completely, like,
but
my mind selectively ignored
right now,
that.
Man.
But that's a big deal, man. Taking out that main, and QXC has a third. His main is fine. QXC, I think he's fine here. I think he's in a good situation. Again, he's adding on those Vikings. 3-3 on the way. NightEnd only at 0-2 in favor of the armor upgrades, but he doesn't have those High Templars. These medevacs are full of energy, so feedbacks will one-shot them, and we saw that there. But NightEnd looks like he's going to go for a push here, and we'll have to see if this is effective.
And this is a cool timing from NightEnd. QXC does not have a Ghost Academy yet. It's actually almost completed. He does have a few Storms. He does have 5 Templars, so these Templars are going to play a huge role in this engagement. QXC going to stem forward right now, going to try to focus some of these units, but NightEnd very smartly will pick away. And there is Storm, and yeah, just as you said, there's no Ghost Academy right now. It just got completed. He needs to get Ghosts on the map. Blinking forward is going to be NightEnd. Moving into Zealous. Charge is completed, and Storm is going to play so much in the favor of NightEnd right now. There's only about 4 Vikings. They're going to get picked off. QXC is doing such a good job of splitting his units, man. QXC, I mean, looking at the army of NightEnd to QXC, I would have thought NightEnd would be ahead just because of Storms. But QXC's control in that engagement was just amazing.
Yeah, really good. And again, I mean, honestly, a lot of the Storms hit. But again, the upgrades from QXC are just so good right now. He's 2-2, 3-3 is about to finish. That's supremely over, again, the 0-2 from NightEnd. So while the Storms were pretty good, QXC's production, I mean, he doesn't mind losing a few infantry units. And of course, targeting down those Colossi with the Vikings is so important. Once the Colossi are out of the battle, there goes half of your splash damage, right? So just really well played by QXC. And honestly, you know, that's how you're supposed to micro it, you know. Move your Marines and Marauders back, get out of range of the Colossi. Well, the Vikings killed the Colossi. So, you know, the Colossi can't do any damage. Guess what? The Marines and Marauders are going to be pretty good. And the Protoss player is forced to focus on just money stormed. But QXC, again, his upgrades too good, his production too good. Finds himself ahead 191 to 148 in that supply. NightEnd trying to add a fourth. And look at this, we're seeing battle cruisers. QXC is making a battle cruiser right now.
Oh my god. I'm not surprised, to be honest. QXC is very creative in pretty much all his matchups. I'm not surprised at all to see battle cruisers. You never really see that in TVP. But yeah, making battle cruisers, making ghosts. NightEnd, as you said, is trying to take that fourth expansion. QXC's expansion for the fourth is actually just finished. The command center finished at the third, so all he really has to do is float it over and take the expansion. But battle cruisers, actually not even battle cruisers, man. It's one battle cruiser.
Yeah, man.
So that might actually just be the hero battle cruiser here for QXC. Supply advantage in the favor of QXC, 196 to 184. Upgrades are in the favor of QXC too. He does have 3-3. That's a very scary army, given the fact that the upgrades are that good for QXC. NightEnd sitting on 2-1. He does have a few Templars in this composition, as well as a few Archons. Might even want to morph in a few Archons to make his army a little bit more powerful, because Ghosts are on the field now for QXC, unlike the other engagements, and we already know how good his control is with his Ghosts.
Yeah, man, and he is max, and when you're max as a Terran player, usually you're given a timing to attack. NightEnd approaching max as well. Let's take a look at his unit composition. Plenty of Zealots, Stalkers, Colossi, Archons, and High Templar. Keep in mind, though, the upgrade's so important right now. He's only at 2-1. 3-2 is on the way, but QXC is 3-3. I do expect him to try to take advantage of this timing where he has a severe upgrade advantage of his opponent to try to maximize the amount of damage he can do. Adding on a fourth behind this, adding on some barracks, those production facilities so important when you're maxed in any race. And here QXC goes, man. The question is, will this be enough? Will his control be good enough to take out NightEnd in this show match?
It's a good question. It's going to come down to where they engage. QXC getting some scans, trying to see exactly where the army of NightEnd is. NightEnd moving forward with a few Templars, might even want to get a few feedbacks or a Storm off to get sniped by the Ghosts. Great control there by QXC, and Storm goes off, so not the best Storm there from NightEnd, trying to get a few bio units, not really getting a lot, but upgrades still in production here from NightEnd. NightEnd just like, hey man, I'm just going to go for it. Moving it in, and the Zealots are going down so fast. Look at the splitting from QXC. Vikings smoking down all the Colossus, and QXC, I think he just might have done it, man. QXC moving forward, still has a decent amount of units remaining. Ahead in supply as well, 157 to 106 compared to NightEnd. NightEnd really kind of forced to warp in a few charges right now, which are going to be good against his bio units, but the control of these, I mean, I don't even know what to say, man. QXC is just running through the units here of NightEnd. NightEnd just did not get the best concave there, and QXC is still way ahead in supply. And that was just a fantastic engagement for our Terran player.
Yeah, QXC making 5 Marauders, 8 Marines at a time, along with a Battlecruiser and a nuclear missile. QXC handled that engagement extremely well, killing pretty much every single expensive unit from his Protoss opponent. Also cloaking a Ghost here, you know, sniping down the Observers, so now NightEnd doesn't have sight of those Ghosts and has no way to protect them. So QXC in such a good situation in this game, taking down some Zealots at the fourth. And I think this Ghost wants to do some nukes onto this third man.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that QXC at this point in the game is getting nuked, and there is a nuke. I just heard a nuke go off. And there it is at the third expansion.
You see it?
NightEnd has his High Templar selected. The question is, does he see it? The Observer's on its way. He does see it, but he has no detection. I think it's going to hit the Colossus. Okay, nice move there by NightEnd. He does save the Colossus. But yeah, QXC knows that this is sort of his game to lose, mixing in nukes, mixing in battle cruisers at this point. So yeah, I mean, QXC he's denying a lot of mining here at the fourth of NightEnd. NightEnd all the way down to 113 supply, trying to get a few more Archons as well as Colossus on the map. QXC making additional Ghosts, so I'm not surprised if he even goes for more nukes. But yeah, this is sort of QXC's game to lose.
Yeah, man. Phenomenal play from him throughout this game and throughout this series. Matter of fact, finally getting taken down by NightEnd. That was a headache to deal with. It was cute. NightEnd only had Zealots to deal with it, and QXC's like, okay, I'll just left and go up to the high ground. You can't hit me. But yeah, man, NightEnd. Oh man, what does he do from here? This is a pretty scary unit composition from QXC. He is 3-3. He has been 3-3 for a while. Ghosts, Battlecruisers, Vikings, Marauders, Marines. It doesn't get more scary than that. QXC's maxed again, and this is going to trigger a timing from him. So we'll have to see if NightEnd can hold this off, because he's down 3-0 in this show match, man. If QXC can win here, he will have 4-0'd NightEnd. And who would have predicted that? Just a spectacular play from QXC this entire series. And again, NightEnd has a lot of work to do here, but we'll see if he can. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I honestly did not think QXC would 4-0 NightEnd, but it seems like that's what's going to happen. Unfortunately, NightEnd played phenomenal games in all of his matches, but QXC played a little bit better. But you know what? NightEnd he's not really out of it, but he does have a good army here in the middle of the map. A lot of Archons, a lot of Charge Lots, Stalkers and Colossus, even Storms. But that's a bunch of ghosts here for QXC. There's actually 9 ghosts on the map for a Terran player, a bunch of Vikings, a whole lot of medevacs, and a lot of bio units. And this next engagement is going to be so crucial for NightEnd. If he wins, maybe, just maybe, he might have a chance. But if he loses this next engagement, I just don't know. And QXC Mexican 2 battle cruisers right now, man.
Yeah,
So.
man. Do you know what the Observer is from NightEnd? Is it in his army? Okay, it is in his army.
It is with his army, yeah.
I feel like QXC is going to try to focus on killing that. Because once he can kill that Observer, he can cloak all his ghosts, and NightEnd can't do anything about the cloaked ghosts. And then they can just snipe all the Templar, EMP absolutely everything, and QXC will be setting himself up for an awesome engagement. But NightEnd going for the flank here, coming in from behind QXC, trying to decide what to do, splitting up his units, leading with the Battlecruiser, stimming up all of his Marines and Marauders. Feedback's going down on the Battlecruisers. Colossus doing a lot of damage from above. Nice storms here from NightEnd. And does QXC have enough here? But there's so many Archons, and again, QXC wasn't able to snipe that Observer, wasn't able to get those money EMPs that he needed onto those Archons. Finally scanning to try to find that Observer, and will he kill it? No, he won't. QXC gonna back away. NightEnd showing he is not out yet.
Yeah, QXC was kind of put in an awkward position. I don't really think he wanted to engage there. He was put back in a corner. NightEnd got the better engagement of that battle, but at the same time, QXC trying to drop here into the 4th. And that's going to get a little bit denied. A few units do die. But that was very... I don't know if QXC wanted to attack there. That was so good for NightEnd in terms of his force field, in terms of his... Yeah, I don't know if QXC wanted to do that. But NightEnd now, 161 supply to 160. Both of players are pretty much very even in supply. Planetary Fortress is going to get finished here for QXC in that upper positional expansion. He is sitting on 5 bases now. NightEnd is pretty much mining off of 3 bases, and he's going to go for a counterattack. A lot of Archons, a lot of Stalkers, a few Colossus, and this might be a timing here from NightEnd.
Where are the ghosts? I don't see them. I don't see the ghosts right now. EMPs are going to be so essential in dealing with those Archons. How are you going to kill Archons without EMPs? That many of them, too. Zealot going to try to pick a fight against the Planetary Fortress. Probably not his shiniest moment. This Planetary Fortress, the middle right-hand location, will go down, though, to this ridiculously strong unit composition from NightEnd. And NightEnd has been doing a good job of keeping his expensive units alive. In that last engagement, sure, he lost a lot of units, but he kept those Archons alive, kept those Colossi alive. And now, this is a scary army from NightEnd. I feel like QXC... Where's ghosts? Where are they? Where are they, Promise? Where are the ghosts? There's 5 of them somewhere.
Okay, there's actually a bunch of them.
They're trickling out of those barracks.
Yeah,
there we go. EMPs are going to be so important here, man.
Absolutely. NightEnd moving forward with the Archons. Zealots are kind of in the middle right now for NightEnd. Storms are in the back. Not the best EMP there from QXC, trying to focus some of the Templars, but he does get a few nice ones on the Zealots and the Archons. Additional Templars here being warped in for NightEnd. Additional barracks, actually additional reactors here being added for QXC, but it looks like NightEnd going to go for it again. This is a much better angle for QXC, really killing all these Zealots so quickly. Archons trying to move forward, Storm going off, taking out a lot of these bio units. QXC kind of forwarded back in an awkward position yet again. NightEnd down in supply, actually, both of them very even in supply. QXC still does not have a lot of units remaining. NightEnd actually might have had a comeback in this game. He ran over the units of QXC. QXC down to all the way down to 124 supply. And NightEnd might have actually might have done it, man.
Hey, man, he might do it, but 5 Vikings are on the way, and guess what? NightEnd's going to be out of here. He's out of anti-air. So, nope, there's the cheat sheet. So, just too much. Too much from NightEnd there, and NightEnd.
That was a sick game.
Taking the game. What a beast.
I knew he could do it, man.
I think everyone would agree in that QXC... He was ahead at one point in that game. Let's be honest with ourselves. QXC had a comfortable lead at one point. He was 3-3. I want to say he just demolished his opponent's army. But then the follow-up engagement is what told the story there. Did QXC hit a little bit too late? Perhaps. Should he have scanned the Observer just to snipe that away so he can cloak all his ghosts? And then EMP absolutely everything? Perhaps. Was QXC a little bit too cute with the battlecruisers and the nuclear missiles? Perhaps, but it's all fun to watch, and ultimately NightEnd able to take it.
Yeah, I think there was a few moments in the game, towards the later stages, of course, where QXC decided to expand instead of actually attack. I feel like maybe if he would have attacked a little bit earlier instead of actually taking maybe a fifth and a sixth base, he might have been able to kill NightEnd. But NightEnd stuck in it, man. He defended against the drops of QXC, and Nuke did go off. Didn't really kill too much. Kind of cute there from QXC. But he defended, and that's sort of what he did. He got a very scary army. 3 Archons are very good, which is kind of what NightEnd had mostly towards the end of the game. And better engagement, better angles. Of course, that beginning angle engagement was towards the 12 o'clock 5th expansion of NightEnd. That kind of sort of did it. If NightEnd was going to have sort of a comeback, he killed all the units here of QXC, moved into the natural. QXC did not have the proper composition really against all these Archons, and NightEnd just came out victorious. So it is going to be 3-1. And I'm excited, not just because NightEnd won. Of course, I'm very excited that he won, but we're going to go into another game.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. It is currently 3-1 in favor of the Terran player from Team Complexity, QXC. We'll be jumping into Game 5 in just a second after this quick commercial break. This is the CSN All-Stars Show Match. Stay tuned.